guys, it's Katie. Today I'm going to do my food prep for the week. I don't have a whole lot going on this week. I'll show you what I have. I pulled out the veggies. We just went grocery shopping today. So I have a few veggies that I want to clean up before they go in the fridge. I have some green beans, some cilantro, some asparagus. So I'm just going to get those all ready to go. I am also going to divide up this. I have it here in the sink because it's still thawing. This is like a huge sirloin steak. This is going to be 2 meals for us. So half of it I'm going to cut up and use for stir-fry beef. I'm actually going to pre-cook it so that when I go to make my stir-fry, I'm basically going to just stir-fry some vegetables and then throw this in to warm it through. I like to do that because sirloin steak can be pretty tough, so I pressure cook it and it just makes it delicious. So I'm going to do that. The other half I'm just going to leave in a whole chunk and I'm going to throw that on the grill and also grill up some veggies. So the last thing I want to do today, I also want to make some yogurt. So I will start that actually first because it's going to take a while to heat and then cool. Right, so my little one has been loving yogurt lately and I have never made yogurt before. I made a small batch the other day. I didn't want to waste a bunch of milk if I couldn't get it to work. So I just took a cup of milk, heated it, and cooled it like I'll show you here. And I just added a tablespoon of commercial plain yogurt, and it turned this whole container into yogurt really easily. And I don't have a yogurt maker. I know you can make yogurt in an Instant Pot. I don't have an Instant Pot, so I just use a cooler. So I found this method on YouTube. I'll try to find the video so that I can share it down below because it's super easy and it worked out, just perfectly. I watched a ton of yogurt videos. I even watched some dairy-free yogurt videos. I tried a couple batches of dairy-free yogurt and it's just not turning out for me. I eat plenty of other fermented foods, so I'm not really even worried about it for myself. But this is a great breakfast for my little one because it's really quick and it's something that my husband often will get breakfast ready for her while he's getting himself ready for work. So I don't want to have anything too complicated. So some yogurt with some fruit on top or a little bit of granola or something like that would be a good breakfast for her. So to do this, you just heat the milk up to 180 degrees, which is just below where it will boil. So you don't even need to boil it, you just need to heat it up. So let me get my thermometer. Alright, and that just took a few minutes. So as long as it's steamy and around 180 degrees, I'm just going to turn that off. I'll take it off the hot burner. You can put it in an ice bath, but this is a quart of milk, so it's a smaller volume. It shouldn't take forever and a day to cool down, but you gotta cool it down so that you don't kill the culture that you're gonna put in here. So I'll just let that cool. I'll stir it occasionally, and then I'm gonna use just a little bit from my previous batch. So I just made a small batch because I've never made yogurt before, but it turned out so wonderful. So I'm going to do a full quart, and the price is so much better. So for the organic whole milk yogurt that we have been getting, the cheapest price is around $3.99, but I can make a quart for about $1.50 using my own milk, and then just a tablespoon of the previous batch. So for $1.50 I can get a quart of yogurt, organic yogurt that my little one loves. So we'll let that cool down. I got the steak in here, and I actually probably don't want to thaw it all the way because if it's a little bit frozen it might make it easier to cut up. So I'll go ahead and take that out. I'm gonna scrub out my sink and disinfect it, and then we'll clean up these veggies. Alright, so first up I'm just gonna wash the cilantro. Okay, so next up is green beans. Alright, so for the green beans, all I do is break off the stem end here. Try not to waste too much of it, so just break off that. And then the back side, this one looks good. It's not, bruised or damaged, so I'll just leave it. And then I usually just break them in half or in thirds so that they're smaller pieces. And if they're, they look like that on the end, just break it so that it's not all dried out. Again, that end looks good. You can also just gather them up and line them up on a cutting board and just cut them all at the same time. That makes it go a little quicker. I feel like maybe it wastes a little bit more, but it just depends on what your priorities are, time or, you know, waste, something like that. If you're running short on time, you can do it that way. Okay, so once they're all trimmed and broken into lengths, like this one escaped, then I'm just going to rinse them. Alright, so I'll let these drain for a little bit and then I'll just pack them up into a plastic container. So most of these green beans are going to be steamed as a side dish with a ham dinner. I think I'm gonna pull aside a few because I'm also gonna have a vegetable stir fry. So it'll be nice to, you know, have a little variety for that. So put those separately. Actually, I'm gonna put the smaller amount in this big container and I'll just add the other stir fry vegetables, and then this will be the stir fry vegetables. So just leave that to the side for now because I'll probably put a little of this asparagus in too. And the asparagus is pretty similar. The bottom can be kind of woody. So if you just kind of break them like that, it naturally will break where it's not woody anymore. So this will go in the compost, and that I'll just put in there for now. Alright, so I'm going to give these a quick rinse. Just a few in here with the other stir-fry vegetables, so I'm just going to break them into 1-inch lengths. So for the rest of these, I'm probably going to grill them. So you can grill or roast them in sort of a similar way. I'm just going to drizzle these with olive oil and then salt and pepper and throw them on my charcoal grill when I grill some steak. So that's all the produce that I bought today. I might as well go ahead and put a little bit more, this is not pasta sauce, that's an onion. A little bit more veggies in with my stir-fry veggies. So this is onion. I have just a little bit of celery here. And I should have some carrot. Yeah, I have carrot in here. Just 1 carrot will be fine. And, oh yeah, I also bought some zucchini today. I still have a lot of my groceries out here on the counter. So let me see if I can find a smallish zucchini. So I'll just give these veggies a rinse. I'm also going to peel my carrot. Oh man, am I out of frame? Sorry guys. I know you love watching me chop vegetables. I get more comments about how I chop vegetables than anything on these food prep videos. There, that's better. Okay, so I was just checking the temperature on my milk and it seems to be right around where it should be. It's at 114. So you want somewhere around there. Any hotter and you'll kill your cultures, so that looks good. What I'm going to do is add a couple tablespoons of this last batch. And I'm going to pour it back in this mason jar. This is what I measured it out, the original quart of milk. So put that over here so it's not on the hot burner. I'm just going to pour it into back into the mason jar. Okay, so I'm going to put a plastic lid on it. Okay, so I have my warm milk and I have stirred in a few tablespoons of finished yogurt, and now this needs to stay around 115 degrees. So it's 115 degrees. I want it to stay around 115 degrees for a few hours while it cultures. So I have a cooler here. It's just a regular like lunchbox size cooler, whatever kind of cooler you have will work. And I have put some hot tap water in the bottom, about 2 or 3 inches of water out of the hot tap. So it should be around 115 degrees, 115 to 120. And I'm just gonna put this jar in here and close it up. I'm gonna let this sit on the counter for about 8 to 12 hours. When I did it last time, I did it for 8 hours. I had my husband taste it. He said it could go a little bit longer. And then so we ended up going, I think it was more like 12 hours, and then it goes in the fridge. So it just depends on how tangy you like it. So just, taste it at 8 hours and then let it go longer if you want, or you can put it straight in the fridge. So I'll come back and show you how this turns out. Okay, so it's been about 7 hours for the yogurt, and it's still pretty warm in there. When I made this the other day, I used a different cooler, and the water cooled off a lot faster. So this is a more substantial cooler, so it's warmer. So go ahead and check this. So it still has some bubbles from where it was stirred up, but it is nice and solid and thick, and it has a really nice yogurt smell to it. Okay, so here is the yogurt after it's chilled in the refrigerator. It's very thick, and it hasn't really separated any whey. I think this is plenty thick. I'm not going to strain it or anything. So that is how the yogurt turned out. Let's see, I'll get a taste tester. Come here, you want to taste it? Was it yummy? Huh? What do you think of it?
It's yummy.
Alright, thank you. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to get ready for this week is breaking down this big piece of meat. This is a giant sirloin steak. So I'm going to cut some up into small pieces, and one piece I want to keep as kind of a large piece. So I got a large bone here and a pretty stiff piece of gristle here. Everywhere else looks good. But I think I'm going to make this the steak and then this part, because there's kind of a natural separation right here. So I'll go ahead and just cut the main big piece off that I want to grill. Then I'll go ahead and cut out this bone. I have a container in my freezer where I keep the beef bones that I cut out of roasts and things like this, so I'll put that in, and the next time I make bone broth, I'll use that. Same with this piece of gristle, or whatever this big piece of connective tissue is here. The rest of this I'll just cut up into bite-sized strips. Okay, so this large piece I'm going to put in this container and put it in the fridge. Okay, here I have my beef bone container from last time. This is from a chuck roast, so put all that, anything, bones, fat, connective tissue will go in there. And then this smaller cut up stuff I'm going to go ahead and brown. So I'm getting my pressure cooker hot. I'm going to go ahead and brown it in the pressure cooker, season it, and then pressure cook it. So I'll put a little bit of oil. Go ahead and put the beef in, trying to get it into a single layer so that it all can brown. Okay, so to season this, I'm going to do it really simple, and I'm going to kind of cheat and use garlic powder. Fresh garlic would be better, but this will be fine too. Do some garlic powder, and some soy sauce, and then I'll put more seasonings in when I actually make the stir fry. This will at least get it started. I'm going to add about 3/4 to a cup of water. just to give the pressure cooker enough liquid to cook. Push all the meat down into a single layer so it's mostly covered by that water. And I'm going to seal up the pressure cooker. And I'm going to let it cook for like 10 or 15 minutes. These are really small pieces, so it shouldn't take long for it to get tender. So 10 or 15 minutes, take it off the heat and let it come down from pressure naturally. So that is what the beef looks like. It's ready to stir fry with my mixed vegetables, or you could use it for pepper steak or beef and broccoli or whatever sort of beef stir fry that you like. And then you can see that cooking liquid down below. It's really concentrated and delicious, and you can just add a little cornstarch and make a really delicious sauce to go over your meat and veggies. Alright, so that's everything for this week's food prep. If you like these kind of videos, check out my channel. I have lots and lots of other food prep videos, other meal planning, other grocery haul videos, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!